Alright, so I know it's been a while since I made a video. Welcome back, everyone. Um, it's just the last time I made a video, and then I had the usual suspect calling me a cultural Marxist, and I'm just getting tired of debunking the argument that I'm a communist. And, looking at, the whole cultural Marxist philosophy, that the tentacles of communism are trying to spread everywhere by infiltrating the inner workings of Western civilization through media and education, arts and entertainment, and even atheists to try and collapse the West. Chick, Megan, I don't know if you know this, but the options on the table are not fascism and communism. Pick one. I think there is another category that you're not taking into account. You look at black markets; those are actual anarchical capitalist markets. Those are free market capitalism, totally no regulations. So, I don't know why you think everyone is against capitalism and anyone on the left just absolutely has to be a communist. And actually, I spoke with some people who lived to see the rise of fascism and communism. These particular people were on the right. They're conservative Christian Republicans. And they said anyone who is into either one of those ideologies is a Fruit Loop. And, they lived and they saw through it. They lived here in the United States, so, the wars never came over here. Yes, they're very old people, but I'm just pointing out that they didn't see, they weren't over where the war was happening. And even they, responded nothing good came out of that at all. They're totally glad that it's over. It doesn't matter. All of that. Alright, so, then I talked to a hippie, actually my own father. I said, this guy called me a cultural Marxist, and he laughed, because he said, well, wanting to take rights away from people is more authoritarian than somebody wanting to give rights to people. And authoritarianism is something the communists do. And my dad lived through communism. He's seen communism. He's very, very well aware of what it is. And he understood that's actually, he went into explaining why they were protesting Vietnam. Is because we were going to war with a country that was being taken over by communism. And we once again back then, as we did during the George W. Bush administration, ask ourselves as a country, why does the United States have to play the world police? And that's why they protested against Vietnam. And the left is sort of starting to wake up to this whole communist SJW type rhetoric. And you even have people like Bill Maher coming out and speaking out against SJW's identity politics. And even Bill Maher is saying, come on, Bernie Sanders and some of the other officials that are running on the left, why do you have to sound like such a fucking nut bar? So when Bill Maher is starting to do that and telling him you don't need to appease the Twitter check marks, I think the left is starting to clean house and starting to say, hey, this is ridiculous. You're being too extreme. And I think that's the thing that you're not taking into account is communism. Okay, I'm going to say this very slowly so that you understand it. Communism is on the authoritarian left. I am an anti-authoritarian leftist. Okay, do we understand? Do we get it now? Okay. I don't like, actually, I come to find out what the 3 arrows stand for, at least a particular YouTuber's take on it was, one goes against the British royal monarchy, which is an authoritarian government. Another arrow goes through the dictatorship, which is communism. And another arrow goes through the dictatorship, that which is known as fascism. So you're talking about a leftist group that doesn't like the royal monarchy, fascism, or communism. What is that to you? What is that? What is an anti-authoritarian leftist that's absolutely cool with capitalism? Like, come on, figure this out, man. Seriously, figure this out. And honestly, if this whole ridiculous conceit of cultural Marxism, like the tentacles of communism branching out into Western civilizations through all these different means to try and collapse Western civilization, which isn't happening. I mean, you do have influences from it, but the American people are just not buying into it. We're like, no, I don't like to be controlled very much, thank you. You do have some control freaks, you know, those ultra crazy, like, self-entitled wannabe leftist brats, you know, like Kyle Broflovski's mom from South Park, where she's like, you know, it's the type of person that goes into a place that allows smoking and goes, oh my god, the smell of cigarettes, oh my god, and they just won't shut up about it, so they have to do something about it, like create legislation so that they can go somewhere and not be offended. They've existed for a long time, and they're really annoying people, and most people don't really like being around them because they think that they are holier than thou and they get to tell you how to live your life in every aspect of it. And what you fail to realize too is, like, at all the things that are being attacked, it's like cigarette, like tobacco products, nicotine products, like many people on the anti-authoritarian left love those products. We don't want the Kyle Broflovski's moms of the world to win on that, okay? It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think you need to take a break from the internet, because if you go outside the internet, things are not broken down in the way that you think they are. In fact, most people think that if they actually met a communist and didn't announce that they were a communist and just spewed their ideas, most people would think they were crazy. They would say that doesn't make a lot of sense. So I got kind of bored debating the whole I'm not a communist, debating like what an anti-authoritarian leftist is, or a traditional leftist or liberal in a democratic society, like a leftist that upholds like constitutional type ideals, like every man was created equal. It says that in the Constitution. It doesn't specify your creed. I will not attack your doctrines nor your creed if they aver freedom to me, but if they aver that thought is a crime, I attack them one and all the same. And that's what authoritarians do. They say that thought is a crime. That's another thing I'd like to point out to you, Chick Micken. You put up a link to a snuff film on my channel in my comments. I'm not an authoritarian. I'm not for censorship. Your little profile is still active on YouTube. Nobody's reported you, okay? No, nothing. Your shit's still there. It's still there. Now, can you imagine if you had left a comment like many of the comments you have left to me on someone like ContraPoint's channel, or H Bomber Guy, or Sean Penn, or Steve Shives, or Cat Black? You would have had the shit flagged out of you. I mean, like, my God, your account would have just gone poof, up in flames, just poof, into dust. It would have been flagged by so many people. YouTube would just be like, well, we have to take this guy's account down, because it'd just be so many people going flag, 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 flag. But you're on my channel making these comments, and the people on my channel are for free speech. They're for an open dialogue, for an open discussion. But I'm getting bored because you're starting to repeat yourself, and you're not making very good arguments against the arguments that I've made. So I got bored. And I'm doing this now. I'm doing this because it's a ridiculous, it's a really funny, ridiculous, really stupid test to see how masculine or feminine you are. You know, the traits of the SJW type. Where did the test go? What? No. Question 2 of 36. One moment, please. We're gonna re-click on that. Back. What the hell? I don't know. The test was different earlier. I don't know. This is weird. Okay. Now it's doing the test, I think. There were different questions earlier. That's weird. I don't understand. So, assertive. Can I be assertive? Sometimes. It really depends. I'm gonna go with that. So, analytical. Very much analytical. Imaginative. Believe it or not, I can be very creative. I actually used to do art. In fact, this is kind of an extension. This YouTube channel is an extension of my artistic creativity. So I'm going to say yes on that. Secretive. That's a really, like, these are weird. Like, I don't know how you can assess whether somebody is masculine or feminine based on just simple statements like secretive. Like, what you am I secretive? Hold on. Gotta have my nicotine. Secretive. Am I secretive? No, not really. I really like to tell the truth, although I can be kind of, I can be kind of reserved. I wouldn't say secretive. Introverted. Yeah, I can be introverted. Most of the time. Soothing. I don't know that I'm very soothing. I'm not soothing. I'm not very soothing. Moody. Oh yeah, I can be moody. I don't know whether to put like there or really, really agree. I'm gonna put it there. Willing to take a stand. I think anyone who goes into the YouTube hemisphere that I am, if you're not willing to take a stand, you probably won't be doing it for very long. I'm going to say, yeah, I am willing to take a stand. I'm put strongly agree. Sentimental. This is one of those ones where it's like, if you go strongly agree, that's a feminine attribute. Never mind that men find things sentimental as well. This is not a female, this is not a masculine or feminine trait. It's not. It really is not. Depends on the thing. There are things that I do find sentimental, especially from my childhood. So of course I am sentimental. I think everyone is sentimental or has sentiment of some kind. What a silly thing to ask. Yielding. Yielding. I wish I could ask somebody what they think, because I don't know what to say on that. Am I yielding? Am I cautionary? I can be. I asked if I was assertive earlier. Now it's asking if I'm yielding. I can be. Not very often. I don't know. It depends on the situation. It really does. I'm going to put it in the middle. I think that's the best. Likable. What a this is I hate questions like this because they're basically like, are you a narcissist? Are you an arrogant, egotistical, narcissistic ass? Because only a person that thinks that they are likable would say, yes, I'm totally likable, and they're probably not. I'm going to stay in the middle on that one, just because, like, this is highly subjective. Like, this is in the eye of the beholder. Some people are going to find me likable, and some people are not going to find me likable, and that's just the way it is with everyone. You can't look at one single person and be like, that person is just likable by everyone. You know, like, the Bible says that you're supposed to love everybody. I have acknowledged that that's impossible. I am in touch with the people I hate, that with my inner hate. Self-reliant, absolutely. Motherfucker all the way. Dominant. So, like, if a dominatrix is taking this test and they say, yes, does that put them in the category of masculine? Like Betty Page. I'm not really dominant, but I'm not really submissive either. Again, that depends on the situation. There are some things where I'm like, no, there's no point in being dominant in this situation because it's irrelevant, it doesn't matter. And then there are other situations where it's like, no, I need to be dominant because something is stepping on my feet. You know, like I'm not going to be a doormat. So it depends on the situation. Sometimes I can be dominant and sometimes I cannot be. Like, I'm going to put it in the middle for that one too. Loves children. I don't. I don't want children. Children give me a headache. I don't have the patience. When it comes to protecting children, absolutely, all the way, 100%. The thing that I understand about childhood is innocence. Once innocence dies, that is something you cannot get back. And I think that it is sad in this society, in the world, when a child has to lose their innocence and grow up. too fast. And they see traumatic events that fuck up their psyche for the rest of their life. But I'm not, like, in a rush to go and take care of children and do time at, like, adoption agencies and stuff like that. I'm like, somebody else needs to do that because, like, the crying, shouting, like, the getting into things that they're not supposed to, like that would make me insane. So, no. Forceful? Not really. Again, that depends on the situation. Why did they design... Oh, they designed the test this way to make it, like... See, I think they're doing this. It's just kind of like the signs of the zodiac. They're so vague and ambiguous they could apply to anybody. I'm staying in the middle on that one. Strong personality. I can get behind that. Not afraid of risk. Depends on the risk. I'm going to go over here because I can be quite cautious. Affectionate. Yeah, I can be. I hide it, but I can be. Compassionate. Yeah, I can be a bleeding heart. I'm not going to deny it. Devoted. Yep. Mild. I just want you to know I'm not hot or fiery or Diablo. I am mild. Again, such a simple statement. Mild. What do you mean by mild? What does that mean? What do you mean mild? Tame? Not really. I'm gonna do that. I don't really know what they mean. Tender? No. No. Energetic. I'm gonna stay on the middle on that one because sometimes not really. Middle's the only one that really fits. Sympathetic. Yeah, I can. I'm very sympathetic. Competitive. I can be. Hold on, I have to ask somebody on this one. Am I competitive? He said yes. Would that be like on a scale from 1 to 4? 1 being the lowest and 4 being the most. Alright. We're going with 2. So that one. Individualistic? Extremely. Jealous? No, I'm not really the jealous type. Polite? I'm not very polite, am I? That was a big fat resounding no. Defends own opinions. Oh, yeah? Avoids cursing. Fuck no. Helpful. Yeah, it can be. Happy? Not really. Shy? Sometimes. Loyal? Yeah. Ambitious? Yeah, I can be. Sincere? Yeah, we'll go with it. Let's see what it says. I am 69% masculine and 19% feminine. This test was constructed on the basis of the following studies. Donnelly and Twinge, masculine and feminine traits on the BEM sex role inventory, 1993 to 2012. Holton Ellis, Lee and Kashubek, Robinson, Shaver, and Reitman. This is all social psychology, like social studies, social sciences. It's really hard to put a science behind human behavior unless you do it through the aspect of how a zoologist or a biologist looks at other animal species. It's really hard to do. A lot of what we're considering masculine and feminine traits, I've said this in previous videos, a lot of it is, there is social constructs of masculinity and femininity, and then there are biological, natural constructs. Well, they're not really constructs, they just are masculine and feminine traits. And that's what we have to make the differential between. Like, there is a physical difference, biologically speaking, between physiological could be like the body and how the brain functions, because like we can look at the brain through neurology and see there is a difference between males and females, but a lot of these things that they ask are not masculine, or not what you would call masculine or feminine traits. They're what you would call, get ready for a drum roll, boom, personality traits. They're personality traits. They're not masculine or feminine traits. So I wonder what kind of personality traits I just said yes to, because they're not masculine. It's a type of a personality type. This is like I said, this is exactly like doing a test or doing something that has to do with like astrology. And if you don't think that astrology, like basically like anything applies to anyone, take the time to go through, like don't do it in the paper. Get like a book about astrology and go through each one of the signs and read each one of them, like their traits and attributes. See where they contradict each other. It's like, well, you can be this way, but sometimes you're the exact opposite. They do that a lot. Or they say, like, you're courageous. Like, well, like, I mean, there are people who are really meek, but I mean, and they'll say something like you're good with money. Like, I mean, that taps into a lot of people's minds where it's like, I think I'm good with money, even when they're not, or maybe they are, but that applies to a lot of people. Or sometimes I am scared of things. Well, who the fuck isn't? I mean, they do stuff like that in astrology. So it's like, this was really more assessing, like, this is taking personality traits, like, do you take charge? Are you shy? Do you hold the door open? Do you trust strangers? Do you trust family members? Are you paranoid? Do you see yourself as paranoid? These are personality traits. These are not masculine and feminine roles. So, I haven't done anything on the alt-left in a while, but this is definitely an alt-leftist type thing. This is totally social studies, social sciences, and it's funny. So, I mean, like, don't scoff at it and be like, oh my god, the communists are coming, the cultural Marxism is taking over my mind. I'm going to wear a tinfoil hat and stand out in the street because they're trying to indoctrinate me into communism. That's the other thing. If the cultural Marxists really were taking over the West, I think I don't think you would have to worry about a tiny little YouTuber like me that is basically like an average citizen. I think that the people that would be trying to do such a thing would be higher up in the tiers of education and media producing. Like, I wouldn't even register on their radar. You know, like, So yeah, there you go. Wasn't that a fun? Your person. It says your personality, isn't it? It is. It's a personality test. Stop lying. This is a personality test. But there you go. It says that a gay guy is masculine, not feminine. Oh my God. Go and cry to your God because the Bible was wrong. Not much to leave in the comments section below on this one. You tell me what you think, but I think most of it is just funny because it's stupid. Alright, well, anyway, you can like, share, subscribe, and comment if you like. And hit the bell button on any channel you're subscribed to. And with that, I'm out, motherfuckers.